Good evening, everybody. This is Santosh. So I have around 10 years of real-time experience is there in IT market, and 12 years of teaching experience is there. And I am also working in one of the topmost MNC company as a tech lead. And I have experience on various domains like healthcare, banking, and insurance, and product-based sectors also. And today, I am only going to facilitate this session as a SpringBoot logging. So this logging is very important. So how to identify the issues, how to identify the bugs into our production code. Okay, so that one only today I will cover. So with log4j, guys. Okay, with the log4j. So let us assume. So this is one dev mission or a sanity or some local mission. Let us assume this one as a one dev machine. Okay, so this is one dev machine, guys. This is one dev machine. So this is one server mission also. This is one server. Welcome to Ashok IT. Everybody, please be concentrated, guys. So this is one server. Let us take some Tomcat server or Jetty, Netty, some servers. Okay, this is one server, and this is one client mission, guys. Client mission. This is one. Sorry, this is one client mission. Sorry, guys. This is one client mission. Okay, so now I'm writing the code into dev machine. Okay, let us assume something class is equals to something code, guys. Class is equals to something SpringBoot logger. Guys, are you able to hear my voice? Guys, please respond. Are you able to hear my voice? This is something
Yes,
code,
sir.
guys. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. This is something code. Okay, let us assume something writing the code into the dev machine, guys. Now, after writing this code, I want to convert that jar or var. I want to convert that entire code into jar or var and to deploy the jar or var into something server, guys. Okay, this is some server. Okay, suppose now today SpringBoot class, right? So let us assume that jar file name as something logger SpringBoot app dot jar. Okay, SpringBoot app dot jar. Now I want to deploy that jar into this server. Okay, now this is some client, guys. Already my project, let us assume this is entire one project. This project is deployed into real-time production. So client is directly accessing to my server, guys. First accessing into that jar file, directly accessing to this project. Okay, so now here in initial days, starting days, so many issues are raised, guys. So many issues are raised. So this is request and this is response. Initially, in the starting days, so many issues are raised. Okay, to overcome that issues, I want to show those issues. Okay, so here I can make it one. I want to show some messages like that. Messages is like some messages like some success message, If that application goes success, you can make it as a success message. Or if in case that suppose that application got fail, I want to show the fail message. Some different, I want to show some different messages, guys. I want to find out some messages. Okay, so then we should go for this loggers, guys. Okay, and I want to identify some issues and resolve that issues based on these messages. Then we should go for this logging concept, guys. Okay, I want to find out that message, and I want to resolve that messages based on some messages. Then we should go for a logging, guys. Then we should go for a logging. Okay, so getting messages from, I want to getting some messages from application, and that messages, any messages, guys, like success, errors, warning, okay, and trace. I want to display that messages in different formats. Then we should go for this messages, guys. Then we should go for this logger concept, guys. Okay, next here, see, guys, logging is a heading. Logging mechanism is nothing but logging is a process. Logging is nothing but getting messages from application, real-time application, getting messages from real-time application, and real-time application, and resolve that issue based on priority, yes. Based on some priority, yes. Here some priority messages is also there, yes. Okay, so priority is here. Some, if you want to do some info trace, if you want to do some priority messages is also there. Debug is there, info is there, warn is there. Okay, if you want to do this, so compulsory you must also go for some tools, guys. If you want to some messages, if you want to do some messages, you must also go for some tools. Some of the tools are there, guys. Those tools are, first one is Log4j. Log4j, guys. Log4j 2.x. Okay, and Java logging is also there. Sorry, Log4j, Java logging messages, Java logging, and the common logins is also there, guys. Common login. Today I am going to explain Log4j, guys. How to do the Log4j, how to integrate with Log4j into our application. Okay, again this Log4j contains three components, guys. This Log4j contains three components. First one is number one is so logger. So next one is, second one is appender, guys. Appender, and third one is layout, guys. Layout. Next, coming to first one, logger. Okay, logger, guys. So logger is a object. Okay, logger is a object, guys. Logger is a object. So I want to activate logger. I want to activate logger in some particular. in some particular component, particular component, then we should go for this logger object, guys. Component, then we should go for logger logger component, logger object. Next, coming to appender, guys. This appender is nothing but, so I want to store these logs now in real-time scenario. So suppose in real-time scenario, where to store these logs? Where to store? Coming to this diagram. So I want to store these logs. So I want to store these logs. So in real-time scenario, these messages are there now. These messages. So I want to store some places. Where I want to store, suppose you can store this information into file. Today I will show you how to store these logs into, how to store the logs into, how to, guys, please put on mute mode, guys.
Client response.
Hello, please put on mute mode, guys. Yeah. So I want to store these messages into where? First one is file, guys. In real-time scenario, use it some file only. Even I am also today, I will show you how to store the message into file. Okay. And again, so in the database table also, if you want to store logs into database also, that is also possible. Logs you can store into database table. Okay, in the DB is also possible. In the DB also you can store the logs. Okay, so you can store the logs into DB also. Okay, so next after that, so you can store that logs into console also. Okay, this is the general scenario. Every day we can see the logs into the console. Okay, you can store the logs into console also. Okay, console is also possible. Next, through the email, through the email, you can store that logs into email also. That is also possible. Okay, so SMTP something email you can through the email is also possible. Okay, next same like that, like this only we can some extra data through the email is also possible, through the console is possible, DB is possible, through the file is also possible, guys. Okay, so these ways to store the log, these many ways to store the logs, guys. Okay, through the email. Okay, so now I want to, appender is used to, mostly appender is used to, this appender is used to, where do you want to store the logs? Okay, where we need to store, where we need to store the log, where we need to store the log, that information, where we need to store the log, then we should go for a compulsory, you can go for a this appender, guys. Store the log, then we should go for log, then we should go for appender, guys. Appender. Next, third one is, so layout is also there, guys. This one is used, I will show you some format today. So how to store the different format also. Okay, this layout mostly this one is indicates layout indicates some format, guys. Something if you want to pass some date format, some format, a date pattern, or some pattern. So some pattern like some date format and file format. Some I will show you in the example, guys. Okay, through the date format we can pass. I want to store some pattern. I want to store some pattern. Then we should go for this layout, guys. Okay. Next, see, suppose some loggers. Suppose I want to first logger is nothing but I want to activate some log information into some particular class now. Then we should go for this logger, guys. First of all, let us take one class product controller, guys. Product controller. In that product controller, so how to create the log, guys? So let us take like this. Logger. Log is equals to logger monitor. Okay, log monitor or log message. Log manager, guys. Log manager dot get to logger. Get to logger. Now here we can pass some dot class. Guys. That dot class indicates some information about that class. So then we should go for, then you must and should represent here product controller dot class. Controller dot class. Like this only we can create the logger. Okay, so in some classes are there, right? So in if any class, so if you want to generalize the, suppose I will show you one real-time project showcase. Go to desktop. So this is one general project, any project, real-time approach, guys. First one, controller class is there. So controller class. In this controller class, just to see, guys, this is one real-time project scenario. So first controller class. In this controller class, how to make it that class as a controller class? We can mention at the rate of controller annotation or at the rate of REST controller. So this controller class, so trap the request from the UI, right? Yes. Next, after that, that class connect with the business related layer. And again, that class connect with the service related layer. And again, that class connect with the DIM related layer. And the DIM related layer is only contact with the database. And some utility related layer is also there. So that one is also connected with some service related layer. So I want to suppose, so you can create the loggers into for controller layer, and as well as business related layer, and as well as service also, but not required for model classes. So not required for that model classes, not required for some DTO classes also. Okay. So some of the priority methods are there for the logs, guys. So that priority methods are, some of the priority methods are there. So most probably, so we can recommend it to create the loggers for controller, service, and business related, and DIM related classes also, but are not DTO related classes. DTO and model classes are not required, guys. Next, to some of the priority methods are there. This priority methods indicates the some message, guys. You can print some message based on some priority. That priority messages are, first one is debug. Okay, this debug to print to the by using this debug to print to the final result of the process. Okay, then we should go our internal details of that method. Then we should go for this debug, guys. Okay, by using debug to print to the, so to print okay, to print final result. To print final result. Final result to print to the final result of process. Process or internal, to print internal details. To print internal details, guys. To print internal details. Next, after that, info, guys. Info. This one represents info represents so current info represents current info or current step or current step. Okay. Next, warn message, guys. So this one tells that to, this one represent to warning related message. Okay, means application related, application app related, application related warnings, application related warnings, guys. Next, error, guys. Next, error. So this one represents, so this one prints error represents print exception related information, guys. To print to print exception related info, exception related information. Okay. Next, fatal. This one prints some environment related information. So environment related if you environment related you can print it by using fatal, guys. Okay. Now I will show you guys. So how to print loggers into console. Okay. So with some layout format. Layout. So layout tells some pattern. Layout indicates some pattern, right? Yeah. First, I open some Eclipse, sorry, STS, guys, Spring Tool Shoot. So now I want to create one application, guys. So how to create the Spring Boot application? Everybody knows, right? So go to File, New. First step. Step number 1 is go to File, New, and Spring Starter Project. Spring Starter Project. So here, so you can create one application name as a Spring Boot application login. Okay, Spring Boot application login. Spring Boot application login. Okay, so now here you can write group ID. Here you can type as a Maven, Java version as a 8. Okay, write it down. That group ID is a com.ashokit.springboot. Okay, so next again, I select some snapshot version only. So description, you can write anything. Demo project for Spring Boot or loggers. And package you must consider com.ashokit.springboot. Next, click on the next button. So you can select here, select some version, guys. So I selected some 2.7.14. Next, type here Spring Web. Select this version, guys. This is a starter form. Starter form supports simplifying Maven dependencies, nothing but a starter form. So in coming to Spring MVC, if you want to Spring MVC, what are the jar files are required, guys? So different Spring core jar is required. Next, Spring commons login jar required, and Spring AOP is also required, and Spring Web is required. So these all are the jar files are required for the Spring, right? But Spring Boot supports starter form. So we can select only Spring Web. All jar files are automatically downloaded from the internet. That is the power of Spring Boot. Spring Boot supports starter form, guys. Here see in downside, it's one displays you can downloading some jars. Bunch of jar files are downloading from the internet. That is the power of Spring Boot, guys. Okay. Yeah. Slowly expand this application, guys. So expand that. So now expand this one. So here com.ashokit.springboot package has been created in here. Next 3, can you click on this class? This class is a predefined. This is a bootstrap class. This is the main class, guys. This is the main class. Put cursor in here, guys. Put cursor in here. Please put at the rate of Spring Boot application. Is one annotation is there now. In this annotation contains 3 annotations, guys. What are those? Spring Boot configuration, enable auto configuration, and component scan. Spring configuration annotation tells that class is a Spring Boot related Spring Boot config class. If you want to that, which type of annotation you can mention in the Spring? At the rate of configuration annotation, guys. So here not required for that. Okay. So next, coming to enable auto configuration. This enable auto configuration tells that so by default automatically all dispatcher all configurations by default it's provided, guys. So dispatcher servlet configuration is done, and handler mapping configuration is automatically this Spring enable auto configuration is only taking care, and view resolver configuration is also taken care by this enable auto configuration, guys. Okay. Next, component scan. Why using this component scan, guys? Component scan in Spring Boot. in a Spring. So in the XML file, so we can use some components can base package is equals to, we can mention some REST related packages, right? Why using that? The component to scan annotation scan the all REST related all classes. Okay, by explicitly in the Spring. So developer is only responsible for explicitly configure that information using component to scan tag. Okay, but here not required that. So who taking care of this? So at the rate of component scan is only that annotation is only taking care in here. Okay, that type of scanning is not required in here, guys. Okay, and coming to this run method. This run method automatically, this run method is only responsible for run this application. This run method is taking care of the print the banner and as well as IOC creation and create the some listeners also. IOC, you know, right? IOC, what is mean by IOC? IOC is inversion of control, right? So who taking care that IOC container creation, application container creation, who taking care this run method only? I want to print to some time also, date and time. So this run method internally calls stopwatch and startwatch. That run method is print the timing also in here. Okay, this is a small description about this class, guys. Now, so go to this class. Here I have created one class, guys. Okay, what is that class name? Public to string. Public to string. So welcome Ashok IT. Welcome Ashok IT. Welcome one method, guys. Welcome Ashok. Welcome Ashok IT. Okay, now open this. Return. So something. Welcome to Ashok IT. Welcome to SpringBoot. SpringBoot loggers by Ashok IT. By Ashok IT, guys. By Ashok IT, something. Some information. I want to print some information, guys. So I want to use some request mapping also in here. Why using the request mapping annotation, guys? Request mapping binds to the URL pattern. Okay, some URL pattern. Welcome Ashok IT. Something. Okay, welcome Ashok IT. Okay, so now here I want to use at the rate of REST controller, guys. REST controller, some class. A control shift to O. So this all that all packages are input, guys. What is this? Yeah. So all classes are imported. Guys, what is this? Please remove these lines, guys. You create this. Please remove that. Yeah. Now here, so go to this application.properties file and write it down server.port is equals to something 9896. There's something port number. Save it. Again here also save it this one. Okay, run this server. Run this application. How to run? Right click on this. Run on server. It's run on SpringBoot app, guys. Run on SpringBoot app. Okay, your application is starting. Just wait. Yeah. So banner is printed. Next, your port number is also. So go to top. So port number is also there in here. So port number is 9896. That is the port number for our application. Okay, your application got started. Okay, your this application is running under on Tomcat. So this date and time format is also printed in here, guys. Okay, now open your browser. Any browser, guys, open your browser. So here type localhost : okay, 9896. 9896, enter. So some white label error page is generated. This is the default error handling. So this one is provided by the Spring Boot only. This is one of the advantage for the Spring Boot, guys. Now here, what is the trust? Go to here request mapping. So here copy this. Welcome to Ashok IT. So go to browser, copy that message and paste into here. So that value. So request mapping binds the URL pattern. Now your application got successfully running. So 1 second, guys. Create. Guys, please remove that lines, guys. URL pattern. So URL pattern binds in the URL pattern is in the servlet. Some URL pattern is there, no? So minimum knowledge is required for to learn this course, guys. So request mapping binds the URL pattern actually. So guys, please remove these lines. Use the admin. Okay, request mapping binds the URL pattern. Now, see guys. Now here, so now I will show you these logs, guys, in here. So here, see, first this is known as a layout format. So here, see in the console, guys, everybody see in the console. So some loggers are displayed, right? First, this is the date format is printed, date and time format printed, and info related, some information related. This is info log. Next, after that, some process ID. Okay, this is the method name, and this is the application name also. Application name and some messages is also printed, guys. Some messages. Okay, these are the messages. This is the first slide, guys. Go to this PPT. In this PPT, so here see. 1 second, guys. I want to part with this. Okay. So here in this PPT, please check. Here Spring Boot, so Spring Boot internally uses some common logging for internal logging purposes. Here see, check. This is some name. Okay, some information related, some process ID, and the application. Here some separator is also there, and some here some thread name. Which thread we can print that information, and as well as this. This application name, Spring Boot application, that is some represents some class name, source class name, guys, and some message, some logger messages is also displayed in here. Okay, so this is the first up. This is the some information about the console. Console log is printing like this, guys. Okay, yeah. Next, after that, so come to here. So now suppose I want to print some debug, guys. Debug. I want to print this. As of now, we can print only some info related logs, right? Now I want to print debug related log also. JP. What is going? I want to print debug related. I want to enable the loggers by 2 ways, guys. Okay, first way is, so in the go to application.property, write it down debug is equals to 2, or we can run that Spring Boot application, run that jar and create the jar and run that jar file into command. So how to do that? So now go to first in the application. Here go to application.property. In that application.property, so I want to write debug is equals to debug. Debug is equals to true, guys. Debug is equals to true. Now only do debug related logs is only enabled. Okay, now stop this server. Again, stop this server. Okay, and start. Stop, guys. Okay, and again start the server. Now debug related logs is only printing in here. Please check in console. So here see in console, guys. See in console. So here info log is printed. Next again, info log is printed. Next again, some go on top. Go top and check. So here check, guys. So first debug related logs is only printing, guys. Debug and info and one related message is also printing, guys. Because of so debug is a info is printed along with that info. Debug is also printed, guys. Because of so debug info is less than to debug. So that's why debug is printed in here. Okay, like this only we can enable the debug log. Okay, next I want to run this debug. I want to run this application through the jar file. So how to run that? So first of all, you can create the one jar file. How to create the jar file, right, guys? So right click on this, run as Maven build. Click on the Maven build. Here write it down. Clean install. Clean in real time also we can run the jar file like this, guys. Clean install, skip test cases and apply and run. So like this only we can generate the jar file, guys. Jar or where? Hey guys, what happened, guys? What happened? Babu, who printed these 3 lines also, please remove that. So like this only, here jar got generating, guys. Please observe in here. Okay. After build success, then only that jar file got generating. Now still it's running. Now build success, guys. Now
What is the command you have used?
clean install, build success. Now go to here, SRC, go to target folder, guys. Go to target folder. First refresh. Go to here, refresh. Okay. Now here target folder is there, right? Maven dependencies. Okay, 1 second, please. Now again refresh. Refresh. 1. The requested profile form.xml. Go to here. What is the jar file version? Go and check. Form file. First you can create one form file. Build success. For 1 second, guys. I want to connect to this one to install. Okay, first to restart. Now we can run that command. Okay, now right click on this. It got generated. Yeah. So how to, one more time I will show you guys. Right click on this. Run as Maven build, guys. Maven build 3 dots. Please remember Maven build 3 dots. After that, Maven build 3 dots. Now here clean install. Clean install. So skip test cases. Apply and run. Apply and run. apply and run. It will take some time, guys. Okay, build success. Now refresh this application. Refresh. So now here go to this target folder, check the jar got generated, guys. So this jar file has been generated. Okay. Now I want to run this jar file. How to run? How to run, guys? Now right click on this first. You can stop the server. Stop the server. First stop that server. Okay. Next right click on this. Right click and properties. Go to the properties. Right click, go to the properties and click on this button. Click on this. Yeah, like you go to directly that location. In that location, open one command prompt. Open one command prompt. Okay, open that command prompt. This command prompt. So how to run the jar file? So Java, run the jar file like this. From command prompt, some command we can use, guys, in here. Java hyphen, very good. Java hyphen jar
file name.
Tell me. So Java hyphen jar, the jar file name. What is the jar file name? So Spring. So tab, click on the tab. Whenever click on the tab, the jar file name automatically displayed in here. Now, now space hyphen debug. Debug is equals to true. Debug is equals to true. Hyphen debug. Debug is equals to true. Enter. Enter. So application got started. Now please observe. Please observe in here, guys. The why application got failed. Okay, so this one is already running now. Okay, already running. Okay. Go on to check why it is. Go on to check why it is not running. Okay. Port number already in use. Okay. Already stopping. Okay. Now again we can run.
Why it is failing? It is running in the.
Yeah,
Okay.
this one is actually that one is running in a local app, right? So that's why.
That's right. Port number is taking
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, that number is only 9896.
That's why it is not restarting again. That.
Yeah, yes. So let us take 1 second. Actually, some other applications is also running. Cancel this. I go to this application properties. Now I want to running on. Right click on this. Run on. Run Maven build. Maven, click on the Maven build and here write it down. Clean install. Clean install. Skip test cases. Apply and run. To take some time. Application is running.
Sir, can we change the port number from the command prompt?
Yeah, that
When-
is also. Yes, possible.
Okay.
Yeah, 9894, right? Now you can create. Application is running. Now you can create. You can run Maven build. You can create Maven build. First stop this. Right click on this. Run as Maven build. But you don't clean install. Skip testing cases, apply and run. Okay, I want to clean. So now, here you see guys. Now right click on this. Run as Maven clean.
Hi. Hi, sir. Sorry to interrupt. I wanted to know about why we build Maven build, because I already running on the port now, so it's as a Spring Boot running application.
Yeah, I want to create jar or var. So I
Okay.
want to create the jar or var compulsory. So, so you
Yeah,
must
you want to create
Yeah.
a jar bar for Dockerization, right?
Yes, Dockerization purpose. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So if you want to create the jar file, so if you want to deploy the jar file into one server, any server, that is a application server or a web server, any server. So, or if you want to deploy the jar into that cloud also. So then you must also go for that. You can convert that entire project into jar or var. That is the mandatory thing. So any real-time application. So must and should you can convert the jar or var into that, and that jar or var only you can deploy into the your cloud. Okay, first we can run that.
Here, just the Maven clean build is failed.
Yes,
It's not
Maven. Sorry,
the build
Maven.
was failed. Yeah,
Yes,
Maven build. Better
Maven
you can
build
run
was.
Maven clean build. Manually, you can go to that project folder and you can run.
Right. You can Maven install also.
Sir, can we delete the target folder and try again?
Yeah. After that, this completion of this one, then only I can delete the target, and after I will try that. So now, see, let me delete this.
It's already
Give me
running.
1 second, guys.
Delete all the jar files.
This one.
That folder is already open. That's why we can't delete it.
No. Already server is done.
Delete that particular jar only.
No.
Sir, you use this jar file in the command prompt. First, I think you need to stop this command, then you can delete, sir.
No, already started. This one is already started. Yeah. This one is not running actually.
Better you can go to the form file, you can delete in the folder.
No.
No. Go to your folder structure, sir, project folder structure.
Yeah. Here. An exception has been catched while processing the refactoring. The delete message. Okay, let me go to this form file. I can mention as a
Simple, just you can close your command from, sir, because you can close the command from to go to your workspace, sir, where your project is created. That workspace you can delete manually. After that, you can run command itself, MBR clean stuff.
Okay, let me do that one also. This one, right?
Here, go to inside SpringBoot application. Inside, don't delete it. If you delete entire project, will delete.
Let me.
Yeah, if better, will create new project. Otherwise.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. So I want to clean up that. Yeah.
I think no, sir. Please close the STS and try to I'm deleted from the file explorer.
From this.
Yes. So here the entire structure will not be deleted. Close the
Yes.
STS and go to the file explorer and try to.
Yeah, let me STS workspace. This is our STS workspace. Let me restart my STS first.
Looks like the project is open somewhere due to that reason.
Yes. Let me create. So Ashok IT applications. This was. Open new workspace. Next, after that, I will show you how to configure the logback and how to do the so this is the one way to do. So run that debug command through the jar file also possible. Next, after that, so how to configure the I want to print to some that log file into at one place. Okay, then we should I want to print to that log file at one folder. So how to do that? Next, after that, so how to configure the logback? So some configurations also I will explain. So how to do the logback? So with some particular ID, I want to print the log file name also. So I will show you that thing also. Next, in real-time scenario, so how to configure the log4j into your application. These all things I will cover, guys. Next, open your STS. So this is my STS, guys. So first create one application. I go to file. So new. Okay, Spring Starter project. Guys, anybody have ideas so how to remove these two lines? So Spring Boot application, Spring Boot logging application. So put this one as a 8. So type as a, so Maven, this is the Maven. I want to generate the jar error. Next, so I want to group ID as com dot Ashok IT dot Spring Boot. Same thing can copy and paste into here, the package. Yes. Okay. Next, I want to version as a 2.7.14. Next, finish. Next, finish.
Web dependence not added.
Oh, okay, no problem. Can add. So go to this, open our pom.xml. Okay, open the format.xml and add dependency group ID, artifact ID, and version. Okay, now here. So now here, go to dependency, add the dependency. ID. RG dot
Frame.boot.
yeah, SpringBoot dot Spring framework dot boot.
Artifacted. SpringBoot starter web.
After that, yes, correct. Artifact ID. Artifact ID. Artifact ID. In that artifact ID, you can mention spring hyphen boot hyphen starter hyphen
Web.
web. Next after that,
Save.
next after that, okay. So version is also there, right? Yeah. So some Java is now open your class. So in this class, so here, so first you can create one method like public string, welcome Ashok IT, welcome Ashok IT, welcome Ashok IT. So now return here, write it down, welcome to Ashok IT, welcome to Ashok IT, Ashok IT. Information, okay, or slash. So that is SpringBoot loggers workshop, something information. So, okay, yeah. So now save it. So here request mapping binds the URL pattern. So write it down, request mapping. Dash welcome. Okay. Up here, up in top, so they write it down some REST controller. Okay, control should do REST mapping. Okay, now go to your application properties. Server.port is equals to something. Port is equals to 9498, something port number 7. Okay, so first you run this application. Right click on this. Right click, run on SpringBoot app. Run SpringBoot application. Application got started. Yeah, now open your browser. So go to browser here, type 9498. Enter. So Spring Boot supports default error handling. Next, after that, so you can copy this, go to this controller. So here, copy this request mapping value. Welcome Ashok IT. Okay. So go to this spot and paste it. Okay, and run. So your application got successfully executed. So now this is the message. Now I want to convert this one into for jar file. So now right click on this. Okay, run as Maven build. Maven build.
Sir, can you change the debug level?
Okay, I will show you. So first I can convert that message. Next I will show you the debug level, how to convert that level. Debug is equals to true, you can mention. So I will show you that also. Yeah. First click install. We'll install script test cases, guys. And apply and run. And apply and run. And apply and run. Hardly take it's 30 to 40 seconds. Success and refresh. Okay, so this is the jar file. Jar file that has been created in here. Now right click on this, go to properties file. Okay, go to this location, click on this. This one jump into the folder. So now go to this, here open your command prompt. Okay, now run this one. How to run? Java C.
Did you stop the application, sir, or is still running? Otherwise, you
Java.
will get the
Yeah.
error.
Okay. Go to this and stop this. Yeah. Next,
Sure.
go to this. 1 second. Wait. So now go to the command prompt. And go to the command prompt. Now Java C space, not Java C, Java space
Jar.
minus Java hyphen jar. What is the jar file name? Spring tab. Okay, hyphen debug is equals to true base. Hyphen debug is equals to true. Enter. Yeah, please observe. Okay, slowly up and check. Here, check guys. Only debug related logs printed in here. Expand this. Yeah. Here debug related logs only printed. Yes, debug. Okay. So and info related log is also printed, but info is a lesser than to debug, so that's why info log got printed, guys. Same like that. So in application.properties files also you can put, so debug is equals to true, only debug is equals to true, only print that information in console also. Directly you can print that debug related logs into console. Okay, go to this part. So here, go to application.properties file. Here, go to debug is equals to true. Just to true connection. Debug is equals to true. That's it. So save. Okay, now stop this one. Control C. Start this server in here. Okay, next go to this application. Here, start this one. Here, please find out, guys, the pattern. So that time and that thread name and application name and that message, that one is displayed into that console. Okay, that is known as a layout format. So here check, slowly go up and check. Slowly go up, go on to check. Logger messages. Yeah, please check, guys. In console, here you see here info and debug. Here info debug. Some loggers got generated, guys, here. Okay, info and logger, because of, so info and logger is a here debug and info is printed. So info is lesser than to debug. So that's why info is also printing in here. Okay. So now after that, so I want to logging path. So how to print a logging path? Paths, I want to print that log files at one location. Okay, I want to print default log and as well as my own log file name. How to print that? Okay, so next go to here, remove this debug is equals to true. So actually, SpringBoot supports some trace and debug, info, warn, and error, and fatal. These all things, right? So now, so these all information. Suppose I want to print debug related file at one place. Actually, I want to store the logs at one place. Then we should go for this logging.file. Okay, so logging.file. And logging.path also. If I want to print some path, whenever we use the path, the default logger name will print it. So next, whenever you use some name, so that particular name will going to be printing. Next to see here, type here login dot file dot path. File dot path is equals to, write it down some location, d colon something log file. Location, I want to print that loggers at one location. Then we should go for this application.property. Here we can mention login.file.path is equals to that some location. Go to that location first of all. Go to that location. So that log related location is there. Now remove these all logs, guys. Here some logs are there. Remove this. Okay, now you can run this application, guys. Start this server. Start and run. Okay, now run this application. So now go to that location list. Please check that location, that log files, D colon under logs folder here. Okay, let's see that Spring related, that Spring is a default name. So that one is printed into here. Here, see, please observe, these are the logs. So you only here, so info related log is only printing. If you want to put default debug also, we can mention. So debug is equals to true on the application.properties file. That one is also possible. Okay. Now, suppose I want to print the or my own name. Suppose now I want to print with the name, something name I want to print. For that, so logging.file.name is equals to in that log location, in that log folder. So Ashok IT logs. Ashok IT document. Okay, save this one. Okay, and print debug is equals to true also. Debug is equals to true. Okay, save it. Stop this server and restart. And restart this. And restart. So now our own name, that is also titled log file. That file got generating, guys. Just check in that location. Check that location. So log file. So now here, see guys. So the Ashok IT log file has been generated, right? Has been created in here. So Ashok IT logs. Ashok something info something. Something all related debug related logs are all generated this. Please check. So like this only we can print the logs using I want to print some log file name. So then we should go then we should go for login.file.name. Okay. So if in case that like that file exceeds 100 MB, automatically that file is automatically rotate the size also. Okay, whenever that file will rotate automatically after reaching the size of 10 MB. Okay, whenever reaching the 10 MB, automatically that file will increase, that size will increase. Okay, next after that, how to configure the next I'm going to explain how to configure the Logback into our SpringBoot application, guys. Okay, so now go to your application. So this is my application, Logback. Logback contains logback.xml contains so configuration related information, guys. Okay, so now so this file is generated in the resources folder. Where is the resources folder? Here. Here, resources folder. Okay, how to create this? Right click on this. So new, create one file. That file name is a logback. Okay, logback.xml. Logback.xml. Create that file. Okay, in that file. So this file actually, so this here in the logback.xml contains some logging related configuration base. Okay, here see that logging related configuration like this goes. I want to print log into, so I want to print this log, all logs at console. So here see, please observe in here. So here I want to print to the console with this name std out goes. Something by using the console appender. By using the console appender only, we can print the logs guys. Okay. So before going to this, so here some pattern why something I want to print that here name this all things. So but I want to print only info related logs. I want to print info related logs. Compulsory you must and should go for root level is equals to info. Okay. So root level is equals to info before going to this. So now here. So now here I want to create one more logger guys. How to create that logger? Create one private static final. So logger. So logger is equals to logger factory dot get logger. Here I pass some Spring Boot or class name dot class. Spring Boot application. Spring Boot application dot class. Okay. So now control shift to so we can import SLF4J. Save this. Okay. So now I want to into some information guys. Some logger dot by using this object dot logger dot debug. Logger dot info. Logger dot warning. Here also print. This is a warn message. It's logger dot same thing. Logger dot message. Okay, next after that, so error logger dot error error. So print here. This is error message. Message. These are the loggers I want to print out in this method. Now here, please observe. Here also after that want to Ashok IT. Ashok IT is save it. Now we can run this application. First of all, go to application.properties. Remove these two things. Save and run it. Stop the server and run it. Stop the server and run. Right click on this. Run on SpringBoot application. Run on SpringBoot application. This all info related, error related logs is printing. Go on up and check. Here see info, warn, and error, and so info, some messages are printed, right? Info related. These all are the info related. Here, warn and error related logs is also printed. Okay, because of so info, warn and error, these all are lesser than to info. So that's why. So warn and error is also printed in here. Now go to this logback.xml. So I don't want to info, I want to print to some debug. So save this and again stop the server and run. So under debug related logs is printing. Please see in the console. See guys, check in here. Debug related logs is printed in here. So go on to check and tab. Let's check guys. Here debug. Some debug related logs are printed in here guys. Okay, all debug related. Some info related logs is also printed because of debug info and warn and error are the less than of debug. Okay, yeah, debug related logs are printed in here. Next, so I don't want to print these things into the console. I want to print so these logs into into one file. I want to print that. So for that, so file appender, you configure the file appender related, the file appender related things guys. Now see in here, so this is a logback. So by using the console appender only, consoler appender is a class. By using that consoler appender only, so you can print the logs into the console. I don't actually print the logs in the console. That is not a good way in real-time scenario. So if you want to print logs into the file, so compulsory you must and should use file appender, guys. File appender. Okay. File appender is a, here file appender is a class. By using that file appender only, you can print the logs into the file. Okay. Yeah. So now see in the application. Now go to this here. This is the file appender. Go to this console. Here, please observe same thing. So here you can mention class as a file appender, guys. That a class name, I want to mention that class name as a log into Ashok IT file appender log. File appender log. Okay. So I want to print the Ashok IT file appender log. So here I want to print info related logs. So I don't want to print the info related log. So compulsory here we can mention debug. Okay, debug. So save this and stop the server. Please remember that log file name Ashok IT file appender. Okay, stop this server. Stop this server and again start that server. Location is same file d:/log/ same that location. Go to that location and check. In please observe in here, there is no log file in the console. Okay, please observe in here, there is no log file in the console. Because of this, all log files are generated in the file. That name, file name as a Ashok IT file append. Go to that location. So where is that location? Here only. So here, see this. Your file is generated? Not. Yes, generated. Now file has been generated in here. Next, can you please open this file? So see all. Please check that file. Please check that debug or not. Yes, all are debug related. Debug related messages. Debug related logs only. Okay. Yeah. Sometimes you see in here. Info logs also. This all are debug related and error related. Info logs is also there. Okay, like this only we can print a debug related logs at one file. At one with that your own file name. Okay, yeah. Next, I want to print both console. I want to so come to in Eclipse. Here there is no logs in the console. Only the logs printing in the file only. But there is no logs in the console. I want to print the logs in the console as well and as well as file also. How to do that? So you can configure the both things. How to do that? So I will show you. Okay. So I will show you that one also here. So here, so now I want to change that log file name as file Ashok IT log space Ashok IT something Ashok IT welcome app. Okay, something dot log, something file name, guys. Any file name. Ashok IT welcome app logs. Welcome app logs. Okay, something. Okay, save it. Any file name. Ashok IT welcome app logs. Dot log. That is mandatory. This is the pattern, guys. This is the pattern. DJango, into that pattern only print that logs. Okay, now go up. Okay, here some console related logs is also, I configured that console related and as well as file related. So here, if you want to print the console related logs using console appender, I want to print the file appender logs. Compulsory, I use some file appender logs. Okay, here I get appender ref is equals to std out means this one supports console appender, and appender ref is equals to file. This one supports some file appender. Okay, now stop that server. Stop that server and run the application. Right click on this or directly you can run the application. Go up. Please see in the console. So in the two ways, two places you see. So you see in the logs in the console, right? Yes. You see the logs in the console. Okay, logs in the console. That only info related logs only. Okay, go info related logs only. Now go to that location. Check that file name. Application Ashok IT welcome app logs. Okay, that file got generated, has been generated in here. Okay, that file has been generated. That log file has been generated. Now, can you please open this? Please open this this file. So this file also contains all debug related logs. Please check info. Sorry, this is info related, right? Only info related logs is only printing. Right? Yeah. If you want to debug related logs, so what can you do? Go to this location. Here check. Here what is that file info now? Remove that info, put to debug. Save it and stop the server. Stop the server and run that application. Run that application. Run that application. So now see, you see in here, all logs in the debug related logs in the console. You print the logs in console and as well as file. These all are the debug related logs. See, please observe guys. Debug. Debug related logs all are printed in here. Right? Yes. Next, go to just wait. So all debug related logs, guys. Debug and info related logs is printing in here. Okay. Next, go to that location. Logs location. Here Ashok IT open this log file. Here also print debug related logs only. Info and debug. Please observe in downside. Here debug related logs is only printing. Okay. Now, next one is I am going to explain how to configure this logback into the logback in application.yaml file. Application.yaml file. First, I want to convert this dot property file into YAML file. How to convert? Right click on this. Convert dot properties into .yaml.
So definitely we need to give logback as a name.
Yes, logback.
We need to give name as logback or any other we need to give.
No, logback compulsory. Logback.xml.
The name is fixed.
That name is fixed.
Okay.
Okay, logback.xml. That one supports only configuration only. In the dispatcher servlet configuration time, so where you configure web.xml, right? That servlet name is also fixed, right? The tag names web app, WebEx. So these all are the fixed, right? Same like that. This file name is also fixed. So coming to application.properties, can you change that name application? No. fixed. That is fixed namespace.
Okay.
So now open this. So now that file, so this application.properties can be converted as application.yaml file. Now what can you write? So now you can write so Spring logging level, Spring logging level, sorry. Spring logging level. Logging level. Here we can mention. So that package name, what is that package name? Com dot Ashok IT dot Ashok IT dot star colon. I want to print a debug. Let's save it. So this slide goes coming to PPT. So this slide. Okay. Here see guys, Spring logging level is equals to Spring logging level com.ashok.it star. So info that info log applicable for that all packages with that starting name. Okay. So by default, YAML supports Snake YAML. So that is the thing, the first one. So so we must should use the YAML file as a Snake YAML in here. Okay. Now go to your application. Okay. Save this. Stop the server and check. Stop the server and run this application, guys. Okay. So start this application. Please observe guys in here. So you see in the console here debug related logs, debug. Okay. Debug related logs is only printing. Okay. Next, I am going to explain next. So how to configure the log4j2 into our application. How to configure the log4j. Okay. So see, please observe in here var debug is printed. Here see is debug and var and info and error. Because of var info and error is lesser than to debug. So that's why these three things are printing in here. Okay. Now how to configure? How to configure the log4j2 into our application? How to configure? First of all, go to pom.xml file. Go to pom.xml file. Here, first we can exclude the logging guys. So logging is a default dependency. That one is available in starter web. So I want to exclude that one. So how to exclude the guys? This is also very important interview question guys. So how to exclude the Tomcat server? How to exclude the some particular jar? So then we must and should use some exclusions tag guys. Exclusions tag. Okay. By using exclusions tag, see now I will show you exclusion. First exclusions tag is there. Next exclusion and exclusion. Now in that exclusions tag, exclusion tag is there. Exclusion. In that exclusion tag, so After exclusion, you can mention group ID. After exclusion, you can mention group ID. Write group ID. In that group ID, so write it down that org dot the group ID name Spring Framework. Spring Framework dot boot. Okay, boot. So now you can mention some artifact ID also. Artifact ID. That artifact ID. Artifact ID. So you can mention Spring starter. Starter Spring boot sorry. Spring boot starter login. Starter login. Okay, you can mention that one. So you can exclude this. Save. Save this. Okay, save. Okay, now we can add the log4j. Log4j dependency also. Log4j dependency. So here you can mention dependency group ID. So write it down some dependency. So dependency after that group ID. So yeah, so we can write it down. So write it down group ID. Group ID. In that group ID, you can mention some log4j. Log4j. Next, after that, some artifact ID. Artifact ID. Artifact ID has log4j only. Log4j. Okay, and write it down some version also. Version I want 1.2.14. Okay. Now what can I do? Now I want to write it down some configuration. So configuration related log4j related configuration. How to configure that? So go to SR's resources folder. First of all, remove this logback file. Remove that logback file, guys. Next, right click on this. You go to other, not other. So go to, you can create some file, guys. Right click on this new file is log4j log4j log4j2 dot xml. Let's save it. Okay, so here I configured some so this log4j2 contains some logging configuration, log file related configuration stuff. So, log file related information is there on log4j2 dot xml. Configuration related XML file is there. So something file this log4j related file. So copy this, paste into queries. So go on to check. Here configuration is a tag. So here some pattern is there. So I want to print that log into this location. So /log, and here I want to print some console logs also. So some pattern is there. So now here I want to print only. I want to write it down some application related some kind of that name. So where we need to generate the logs, that package name you can mention. So like this, Ashok IT dot SpringBoot was. Ashok IT dot SpringBoot you can mention. So print some console dot star package also, or Ashok IT dot star any. Okay, so yeah, save it. Okay, now stop the server and run. So that name is as a application log, that name only into. So now stop that server. And print this. Right click on this. Run on SpringBoot app. Okay, now go to that location. So now go and check in here. Here some which warn related messages is only info related messages printed, and info related and war and error related messages got printed, guys. Next, if you want to print here, go to this application data. First to remove this. Remove this. First to remove and save. They come to log4j2.xml. So save it. And again restart this. Go to this, go to that location. One second, something long one. I want to print only log files, right? Just wait. Console number. Log. Go to this location here. Okay. Oops. On dot also pretty. A dot star. Star this. Stop the server. Control. Application.yml. Yeah. So here, see guys, here print the 1 second. Here I want to change dependency related issue. For example, log 405, I want to add this dependency into the then I will try. Go to this application property. Go to this form file. Here log 402 now. So now I want to add this dependency, guys. Save it. Stop the server. Go to that log4j.xml. Please check that. Colon log. File name is application.log. Okay, now we can try it. Write it down. So right click on this, run on SpringBoot tab. Okay, here one message, info message is only printed. Next, go to that logs message. SpringBoot. Is there any configuration related issue? Yeah. And we will start this. User information. Okay. Let me check this later. That is the configuration related issue. One second, guys. Let me check. That is totally configuration related issue, guys.